Hello everyone, my name's Dan and this video is a response to the Everyday Vegan's tmivegan tag video. I'll link that below. I'm new to YouTube, so I'm not well connected enough, I think, to be heard by many YouTubers at all. So rather than nominating specific YouTubers to do this, I would just say any vegan who watches this, or anyone who just wants to do it, I nominate you to do this. Go ahead and, as per the rules Baz set out in his video, feel free with the last 5 questions to change them about, do whatever you like with them. Okay, I'll just get the questions here. Okay, first question. How long have I been vegan? For me, I went vegan in August 2013, so if my maths isn't crap, that would be 17 months now. The main reason I went vegan, I was veggie for a year before I went vegan. That was somewhat ethically motivated, I suppose, but I didn't know all that much about it. Through the year or so I was vegetarian before I went vegan, I learnt more and more about it and found animal agriculture, industrial farming, all that, more and more galling. The straw that broke the camel's back, though, was for the first 26 years of my life, I didn't know how the milk got in the cow. I distinctly remember someone telling me cows just lactate constantly. So when I found out, no, that's not the case, that, you know, the cow has to be made pregnant in order to produce milk, that was enough for me. I went vegan after that. The reason I joined YouTube, well, I originally joined YouTube to share some music that I'd made, but now this video seems to be the reason. Next question is, how did I come up with my YouTube name? It's just, well, it may well change. It's currently Bugzilla with a H on the end. That was just something my wife called me once, and I thought it was funny, so it stuck as a sort of online moniker. 3 accounts I follow, so I take that to be 3 vegan YouTube accounts I follow. Naturally, the Everyday Vegan, that's where I got this tag from. I also follow Unnatural Vegan. I love her content. I try and act as a critical thinker and to be critical of veganism as a movement. I believe in anything, critique strengthens a movement, and I love her skeptical approach to vegan issues. I think that helps us as a group. I also follow Bite Size Vegan. I think her channel in particular is a fantastic resource for new vegans. For me, when I first became vegan, I found that channel not long after, and I learnt an awful lot from there, I think. What's next? My favourite vegan celebrity, I've never really been that into celebrities and all that, so I often can't name actors in films and whatnot, so I'm gonna pass on this question. The last vegan documentary I watched was Cowspiracy. That's a fantastic documentary. I suggest you check it out. One of the main reasons I like it is it's just like chock-a-block with statistics, like actual tangible stuff, and not just sort of like the standard appeal to emotion that you kind of sometimes with some documentaries and some filmmakers come to expect. So it's nice to see sort of that balance there, really, that the more sort of data-driven approach to vegan issues. Right. Favourite vegan documentary, that would be Cowspiracy as well, for the reasons I mentioned before. Next question is, my favourite vegan junk food. Oh, I like all the vegan junk food. That's a very good question. I really like tofurkey slices. Had some tofurkey deli slices a little while ago. I really like cauldron marinated tofu pieces. They're really nice as well. And if ever I can get a vegan cheese pizza, it's a pretty good day. Favourite vegan, health or home cooked food? I don't know. Vegan. I like a lot of veganised home cooked foods. I really like Mexican food, so shall we say like veganised chili con carne or veganised burritos? They're always good. Next question is something I miss from before I went vegan. It's not really something I miss, but I'm going to say I had big cravings for a long time while I was vegetarian for meat on the bone. It's not like that I was amazingly into, meat on the bone, specifically chicken on the bone, I should say. It's not that I really cared about chicken on the bone as such when I was a meat eater, but it's because I couldn't have it. I couldn't find something that I found to be an acceptable substitute. Say, I don't know, at the time, Quorn chicken pieces just weren't good enough because they weren't on the bone. So that was strangely the one craving I really had. That's kind of died off. I don't know if it'll be back one day, but I've thankfully not craved that in a long time now, which is good. My favourite vegan guilty pleasure, probably Vigo chocolate bars. They're really good. It's just like a bar of solid Nutella, so that's nice. Favourite vegan milk alternative? I like soya milk. My favourite is probably Alpro sweetened, which I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. I am a milk and 2 sugars guy for my coffee. With that, I can have milk and no sugars though, which is nice. My favourite vegan cheese, Violife. All the way, just because, like I say, the nature of the sort of vegan junk food I like. I love pizza, so that melts really well on pizza. I found a lot of vegan cheeses to be quite hit and miss. I'm really not a fan of Vegusto. I just don't think it's got a particularly nice texture. But yeah, Violife, particularly when it comes in a block and you can slice it to your own thickness. That's really good. The most annoying question about veganism I get asked. I think this probably ties in quite well to some of the stuff I said before. I don't like when people perceive me as somehow religious or dogmatic for being vegan. For me, that's not what veganism is about. As far as I'm concerned, veganism means simply I abstain from eating animal products. There's an assumption of a lot of baggage that goes with that. It's like, oh, you must be into organic, you must be into yoga, for example, you must be into this or that or the other. I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't exclude everything that a lot of vegans are into, but I see them as separate issues. It's like, you are a vegan who's into this. You are a vegan who's into that. That's fine. It's a diverse group of people. I'm lucky. I understand this. I'm lucky in that I know a lot of vegans. There's quite a big group of us in Norwich, and it's a very diverse group. So I hate the assumption that we're all the same, that we all believe the same things. Is that a complete tangent? I've forgotten what the question actually was. So yeah, it's not the most annoying question I get. I suppose it's the most annoying assumption I get. Who was the last person I argued with about veganism? It wasn't so much an argument I had. I discussed veganism with a colleague of mine at work. He had some very good questions. It wasn't your typical, oh, where'd you get your protein though? It was more sort of questions about ethics and that kind of thing. Yeah, it was a really good discussion. Have I accidentally eaten anything non-vegan? Yeah, sure I have. I've unwittingly eaten beef in a soup. That was probably about 6 or 7 months ago now. Yeah, I'm sure there have been other times. As Baz said, Barnivore is a tricky one. If you can't find something in there and you're in a pub or something and you've already had a few, you may be sort of more likely to go, oh well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. So I've done that before. Have I willingly cheated on my vegan diet? Does what I said before count? Just saying, oh well, I'll assume this unlikely to be vegan product is vegan to give it for the benefit of the doubt. If that counts, then yes. Aside from that, no, I've not willingly eaten something I know not to be vegan since turning vegan, though. My favourite vegan restaurant or eatery, probably, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Depends what kind of food, probably. In Norwich, my favourite vegan restaurant would be Namaste Indian. That's the best the best curry I've had, vegan or non-curry, anywhere ever. If you're in Norwich, I suggest you check it out. Others, I suppose, Cookies and Scream in London. There's a few places in Norwich as well. I turned vegan since living in Norwich, so most of the vegan eateries I've been to have been in Norwich. So Beer Kitchen's one, they do a really good jackfruit bap, which is really nice. They flavour it up like pulled pork, which is something I used to really like. So yeah, that's really good as well. Okay, these are the 5 questions I'm allowed to change. Well, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to change them. So the first one of these, would I eat laboratory-produced meat? That's a really good question. Depends how the laboratory-produced meat is produced. If it involves regular tissue extraction from one cow and that leads to that cow suffering, for example, to make laboratory-grown burgers, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. But if it could be done in such a way as to avoid or minimise suffering to the point of it being utterly negligible, then sure, I don't see why not. The thought of eating meat I find sort of skeeves me out a little bit, so on the day, if it ever happens, maybe things would be different, maybe I wouldn't be able to eat it, but from a sort of an ethical standpoint, I take this question to mean if you could eat meat that was utterly suffering free, then yeah, ethically I don't have a problem with that. Would I date someone who's not vegan? Well, I'm married at the moment, but assuming I wasn't married, absolutely, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see veganism as the barometer of morality for people. It is an ethical position, obviously. But in a lot of areas of my life, I court disagreement and discussion, so I could foresee that would be quite an interesting relationship, and yeah, so yeah, no, I would date a non-vegan. Would I eat meat from an animal that died a natural death? Well, like Baz said, things that die of a natural death tends not to be very good meat from what I understand, so I don't think so, no. Would I buy non-vegan products for others? No, I wouldn't. Because I'm buying them, so the point of veganism is essentially a boycott, isn't it? So I don't think that would be supporting my boycott of veganism. Of consuming animal products. And do I think I'm vegan for life? Yes, I do, barring amnesia or and not being around anyone I know. I don't think I could go back to consuming animal products again, knowing now what I know. So yeah, that's my answers. That's my TMI vegan tag. As I said before, anyone who wants to respond to this, please do. Please nominate everyone else. Thanks for watching.